What's going on, guys? You are watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and in today's show, we got a Knicks mailbag coming for you guys. On the last Knicks mailbag, I asked you to go in the comments and drop your questions. Some of you guys hit me up on Twitter, and I had a community post. So remember, it's a two-step process if you want to get on the next Knicks mailbag. You got to be a subscriber, and you got to drop your questions when I ask for them. So go in the comment section right now and use hashtag Knicks to get on the next mailbag. Greg Jones coming in asking, should the Knicks give RJ Barrett the max? This is going to be a conversation the Knicks and Knicks fans and Knicks brass and the Knicks organization and everybody related to the Knicks are going to have to talk about this upcoming offseason. I like RJ Barrett a lot, and a max contract for RJ would be 5 years for $181 million. And what was that, $36 million per year? A little mental math. Shout out to my producer, Matthew Peterson. And that's a lot of cheddar. I mean, when you have a guy that's still just 21 years old and is rounding into form, I think RJ Barrett is just touching the surface of the type of player he can be. He took a step last year, and then he took another step this year. His efficiency dropped off a little bit, and we'll touch on those stats in a second. But ideally, he takes less, right? I mean, is it really all that realistic to ask a 21-year-old to take a team-friendly deal? Not really, because if I was 21 and I can get my hands on $180 million guaranteed, I'd do it too. So I don't hold RJ Barrett to this expectation that he's going to take less. And honestly, the Knicks, they got to do whatever it takes to make him happy, because this is going to be the first Knicks first-round draft pick that they're going to sign to a second contract that's going to be close to a maximum salary. And as long as I can remember, the dude's 21, and he's done some great things for the Knicks. He's a guy that you can build around. I truly believe if RJ Barrett reaches his maximum potential, he could be a perennial all-NBA type of player. I mean, what he's done in the last 34 games dating back to January 1 of 2022, he's shown you the type of player he can be. 24 points a night, 3.5 assists. His field goal percentage, a little low. I'd like to see that hovering more so around 45 to 47%. And his three-point percentage continues to go up every single year, shooting 36% from behind the three-point arc in the last 34 games. So I want to ask you this question. Would you pay RJ Barrett the max contract? 5 years, 181. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of dollar signs. It's nothing to James Dolan, but it would affect the salary cap. Go down in the comment section and let me know. Type Y for yes, or if you're like, nah, no way, you can go down and type N for no. If and when RJ Barrett signs that contract extension, we will be breaking it down on this channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV, and we're trying to get to 5.5 thousand subscribers. And look, if everybody that's watching this video right now goes and hits that red button, we'd get there. Because I looked at the analytics, and about 70% of the people that watch these videos aren't subbed. So maybe I suck and you're just looking for Knicks news and rumors, but help a brother out. Go down right now and hit that big red button. This next question rolling in from RJ Barrett. All right, RJ, I like it. I like it. Is it time for the Knicks to move on from Julius Randle? Man, this is a question and a topic we've talked a lot about on this channel. And if you asked me a year ago, I would have said no way, no how, him coming off the best season of his NBA career. But for everything that's transpired this year, it's time. The Knicks need to trade Julius Randle this offseason. I truly think that for RJ Barrett to reach his maximum potential, Julius Randle has to be off this roster. They do a lot of similar things on the court, and they overlap too much. Plain and simple, Julius Randle's time in New York is done. From consistently cursing at the refs, to getting technical fouls, to throwing down the thumb sign, to doing other things like fighting assistant coaches and throwing laptops on the sideline. This guy is just not built to play in New York City, the toughest place to play in basketball. I mean, if you saw what he did last year when there was no fans in the arena, this is a guy that you'd want to keep around, and that's why the Knicks gave him a lot of money. I mean, last year, he averaged 24 points per game, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 45% from the floor, and a scorching, red-hot 41% from three. And then the fans came back in the playoffs against Atlanta, and he was bad, and that carried over into this year. Where the numbers, if you look at them, you're like, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, that's pretty damn good. But then the field goal percentage, 41%, and his three-point percentage dropped by 11 percentage points. Randle, his jumper is just broken at this point, and I think his time in New York has run out. This is someone that is worn thin with Knicks fans. It's not enjoyable to watch him play basketball anymore. His effort is always questioned by me and other Knicks fans, and I don't like that. So let me know. Get in the comments section. Should the Knicks move on from Julius Randle this offseason? Go down and type T for trade if you think they should trade him, or if you think they should keep him, you can go down and type K for keep. Jimmy J, should we pursue Zach Lavine in free agency? Zach Lavine is a certified baller. Multiple-time dunk champion, but that's just not the only type of player he is, and you guys are all basketball aficionados, so you know this dude is a real deal baller. All NBA talent. But the Knicks, they would have to create cap space to make this type of move work. Zach Lavine, he's going to get a full max contract, probably 5 years, somewhere north of $200 million, and I think he is a great player. I mean, if you look at what he's done this past year and what he's done in the past couple of years, he's rounded into form into being one of the best players in the association. This year with the Chi-Town Bulls, 25 points per game, almost 5 assists, shooting 48% from the deck, and 39.9% from the three-point line. But at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. The Knicks, they need a point guard. Zach Lavine, he's a scoring two guard. And I know beggars can't be choosers because the Knicks, they need more talent. But in an ideal world, do I want to pay $30 million for Zach Lavine or $30 million for a point guard? I'm going to lead more towards a point guard. I think Zach Lavine's a great player. There's no knock on him. I do have some questions, though. He's been hurt. He's torn his ACL. This is someone that relies on athleticism to be great. But I'd like to have him, but I think the Knicks have bigger needs because you got to build around RJ Barrett, who's just 21. And for RJ to reach his maximum potential, you need a real point guard. But maybe an RJ and Zach Lavine pairing would be something that would be really good. I believe that duo would be great. But what do you think? Do you think the Knicks should sign Zach Lavine in NBA free agency? It's going to cost you about 200 M's. But let me know. Type S for sign, or you can go down and type P for pass. Mike and the boys. Are the boys dirty? Could Dennis Schroder be a sleeper option in free agency? Dennis Schroder, what he did is criminal. This man turned down $80 million and then signed a mid-level exception with the Boston Celtics this past free agency. He turned down that $80 million bag from the LA Lakers. And the Lakers, they're happy he did that because Schroder hasn't been the same player that he was with the Lakers before he got that contract offer. But at best, Dennis Schroder is a backup plan. This isn't someone you want beating your lead guard, your point guard of your franchise. You don't want him running your offense, being the lead distributor, because he's just not really an efficient guard. He's not really a playmaker. This is someone that gets buckets in like kind of a frenzy. He's someone that can get hot. I guess on 2K, he would have the microwave badge. But when you look at his stats over the past couple of years, he has kind of improved, but he's also taken a step back in his three-point percentage. This year, just shooting 33.9% from deep, 42 from the field, 4.6 assists per game, 13.6 points per night. This is someone I like, just not as my starting point guard, and I don't think he's worth $20 million or $15 million. So, yes, I would like him in a kind of a, if we struck out on everyone else, I'd be down. But Dennis Schroder is best in a super six-man type of role. I want him coming off the bench, being my first guard off the bench and someone that can get buckets and be kind of in that Lou Will role. But we already have Emmanuel Quickley in that role. I think they're very similar players. I think Quickley has a higher upside. I'm not all in on Dennis Schroder, so I'd be going down in the comments and typing my 2 for no. But hey, I'm just a talking head on this show. This show relies on audience interaction, so let me know. Type Y for yes, or you can go down and type 2 for no. I'm typing no. I'm typing 2. Because Schroder is best as a six-man. And the Knicks, they have their long-term six-man in Emmanuel Quickley. I like Schroder. I'm not in love with Schroder. And I would not be in love with Schroder with him being my number 1 point guard on this team. Let him come off a bench on a contending team, average 15 to 16 to 17 points per night. Because that's the role I think he's best in. I don't think he's best at being a lead guard and a guy that you would expect to have 15 points and 8 assists. That's just not his game. I appreciate everyone that's watched today's show. If you made it this far, you're a real one. I appreciate it. Give us a like, subscribe, and hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to get to 2,000 followers, so I need your help. Hit me up at @MarshallGreen_.